All right, good morning, YouTube. Well, since we're a knife channel, what I want to bring to you today and just talk to you a little bit about the history of some of the U.S. fighting knives. Um, these knives are real important in our history, and they've played such a pivotal role in our country. It's I know we have tanks and planes and ships and big guns and all that, but when you get down to where the metal meets the meat, there's always going to be a blade involved. And this is just a grouping of a lot of my fixed blades that represent the fighting knives of America and different countries. And let's take a quick look at them and see what we have. All right, let's see. We'll start off with this grouping here. You have the Big Brother K-Bar, the Arley design, a Becker design, two Becker designs, and the K-Bar modified Tanto, which is some of the coolest K-Bars on the market now. So if you're a collector of K-Bars, these would probably be ones that you'd want to add to your collection. I know I've truly enjoyed them, and they're really awesome. Let's take a quick look. All right, the Big Brother K-Bar, model 2217. This is a beast of a blade. It truly is. It's an upscaled version of the standard combat knife. Has really sharp serrations at the top. Has a coated blade. Really cool grind. Stacked leather handle. Pinned and pinged. It's really nice. I love this big beast of a blade. I love big knives, and K-Bar knocked it out of the park with this one. They really did. Comes with a beautiful leather sheath. Has 7 rivets. Has K-Bar tooled into the front. Really awesome knife. I love that knife. This is probably my favorite K-Bar of them all. The Arley model 5300. This is what it's all about when you're talking about a cool design. I saw a video where Arley said he wanted to incorporate a bolo from the Pacific into a fighting knife with a guard, and I think he nailed it. He really did, and it's awesome. Full tang. Has a lanyard hole, beautiful wood scales, really nice finger guard. The choil will fit my finger, but I have skinny fingers. Fat finger fella probably couldn't get no sausage finger in there, so. But it's still a awesome piece of cutlery. And then we have the Becker design. This is awesome. This is a BK7 from Becker. Really wicked blade. High impact plastic scales. Razor freaking sharp. And an awesome piece of cutlery. Then we're going to go to the K-Bar BK7. Basically the same knife as the Becker 7. Really sharp. This one's been mirror polished. And I love this knife. I truly do. Then we have the 1266. The K-Bar modified Tanto. This is one wicked piece of cutlery here. I would hate to go toe-to-toe with somebody against this. I truly would. It is a slashing, stabbing machine. Okay. I have a friend who was in the 8th Infantry Division, And he gave me that picture with the patch and the 2 pins. I'll cherish that forever. Let's move on. We have a Vietnam era K-bar. The model 1209. This was bought at a PX before deployment, and it actually went over there twice. And it is a beautiful knife. A beautiful knife. K-bar really did a number with this one. I love the wood scales. They thought the humid environment in Southeast Asia would wreak havoc on the leather on the standard K-bar, so they applied these wooden scales, and I think it run over really well. Then we have the Cataratigus Quartermaster's knife. You guys have seen this one before. Beautiful piece of World War II history here. Truly beautiful. Then we have the US M3 fighting knife. Stacked leather handle. A lot of airborne paratroopers use these. Really cool. We have the K-bar Hunter, model 1236. This is a beautiful presentation type K-bar. Finger grooves in the leather. I think my neighbor's kids need some riddling. All right, and we're going to move on over to a case manufactured K-bar from 1994. Really cool, really sweet stacked leather handle. This is a nice knife, a really nice knife. I like this knife. Then we have 2 from Ontario in the K-bar fashion. No model numbers, they're just Roscoe marked. US, Ontario. And I have another one. US, Ontario. Stacked leather handle. Really nice blade. Alright, now let's move on down to the V44 Raider from Frank Gonzalez. These guys were so brutal in World War II, just so brutal. This is such an awesome representation of a classic World War II Bowie knife. And this is the closest I've ever seen to the original. You'll notice Frank put dedicated to the United States Marine Corps on it. Has a brass skull inlaid into the micarta. Beautiful brass T-guard, full tang. 5160 ball bearing steel. This is a beautiful, beautiful mirror polished blade. This is awesome. You can tell by the sheath, which is built like a saddle. Has the skull and crossbones. Beautiful, beautiful. Big D-ring. This is an awesome knife. Great setup. This is an original World War II K-bar from the Marine Corps. It's guard marked. USMC. That blade's a little wore, but I could imagine the stories it would tell. Just a beautiful piece of cutlery with so much history. And I have my other World War II K-bar. This is from the Navy. United States Navy, Mark II, guard marked. This was Pacific Theater. Man, I'd love to hear this thing's story. I really would. And we're going to go to a Mac V. Beautiful stacked leather handle, epoxy infused. This is the Vietnam Fighter. It's just a really cool piece of cutlery and not expensive. If you see that knife come up, fellas, it's a really quality knife for not a really big price. Then we have a Mac V from Magnum, Boker Magnum. These are pretty popular. Stacked leather handle, epoxy infused, has finger grooves in the handle. This knife feels really good. It's 440A stainless. Get really sharp. And we have another from Timberwolf. And this is a Mac V copy. Finger grooved, stacked leather handle. Beautiful knife, just a beautiful knife. Timberwolf really did well with this model. And then we're gonna take a look, which I hadn't been long showed these. I just get a kick out of showing them every time. My prize fixed blade, my SOG Agency. I truly love this knife. I get more compliments on this knife than any other blade I've had. It's a beautiful knife, beautiful leather sheath. And we're going to go to the SOG Super Bowie. It's another Mac V, finger groove, epoxy handle, stacked leather. Just a beast of a blade, and it has that special tip that SOG puts on those. This thing is scary sharp. And then we jump down to the 2.0. Another beautiful SOG Mac V knife. Finger groove, stacked leather handle. And that's about it, what I have for you today, fellas. This is a representation of all my fighting knives from the U.S. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's Memorial Day today. Let's think back on what all the brave servicemen and women have done for this nation, and what we as a nation owe them for their sacrifice. It's something that we so easily push to the back of our minds, and we don't really think about it. And when we do, it's just a quick thought and that's it. Then when we see a vet down on his luck, you know, a lot of people tend to just look the other way. And take the time to ask him, you know, ask him what branch he was in, ask him what conflict he was in. You know, they will talk about it. They love to talk about it. It's a focal point of their life. You know, whether it was a good experience or a bad experience, they had the experience. And usually people tend to want to tell you what their experiences were. And if you can, help them out. Give them a hand up, not a hand out. They're very proud people, and they should be. They put their name on the dotted line, and they cashed a check for our country, and they stood watch. Throughout my lifetime, I've laid in the bed and slept like a baby. But you can bet there was a service member whose sacrifice is the reason I'm laying in the bed sleeping like a baby. And I'm able to go to work every day and collect these knives and to listen to their stories and to pass those stories down to the next generation. It's such a great part of our history that we take it for granted when we really shouldn't. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick look today and let you see a fairly large grouping of some really cool blades, and hopefully it will inspire somebody to start collecting, or to just sit down with their grandfather and listen to some of their stories. Any of you vets that are watching, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. I thank you, and my family thanks you for all the times you stood watch for this great nation. Your dedication to us is what makes us the nation that we are. And we love you for it. And we're always here for you. Let's not forget, 22 veterans a day commit suicide in the United States. We must bring awareness to this problem. Everybody stay safe. Everybody have an awesome day with your family. And if you know a vet, give him a call. Tell him how much he means to you. Everybody stay safe. And this is Donovan from Mississippi. And y'all have a good one.